You're watching Good Morning Suncoast at 5.
Several shots have been fired. Possible shotgun. At least 10 shots heard.
New information about the man accused of opening fire in a Maryland newspaper, killing 5 people. Police talk about a possible motive. We are coming to the end of National PTSD Awareness Month, the signs and symptoms you need to look for if you have a relative suffering. And with the 4th of July less than a week away, the scary encounter one firefighter had with fireworks and why he says you should leave it to the experts. Good Morning Suncoast starts right now. Good morning, folks. We've made it to Friday. It is June 29th. Hope you slept well. I'm Ray Collins. Stephanie Webb is off today. John Scalzi's got some showers up there by the Bay Area. Looks like over your shoulder there, John.
Yes, we had a kind of a large complex of showers that sunk southward and kind of fell apart as it did that, but it left some boundaries, and we've got some new showers beginning to build out here in Gulf waters. With the third day of a general westerly wind, we'll see the same sort of pattern again today. Showers building in Gulf waters, gradually drifting toward the coast during the morning hours, and then moving inland as we head into the afternoon. Rain shower chances today probably a little better than they were yesterday because of some leftover boundaries in the water and some moisture across the region that will lead to places where showers and thunderstorms will have an easier chance building. A little bit of sunshine as well to start the day mixed with some fair weather clouds. I think our rain chances today will be significant. Probably 50% by 12 noon, maybe up to 60% by the time we hit 3 p.m. And the rain chances over the weekend maybe look even a little better. We'll talk about that coming up in a bit.
All right, talk to you soon. 5:01 right now. Here's a live shot. Our camera is set up right now in the Van Wezel parking lot where the big speedboats are set up ahead of this weekend's Sarasota Powerboat Grand Prix. The races take place on Saturday and Sunday. Tens of thousands of people will be on Lido Key Beach for one of the biggest events of the year here on the Suncoast. Checking the maps right now, here's the situation in Manatee County. An early issue at Cortez and 14th Street West. A busy spot there, busy intersection, made busier by this crash, so be aware of that. Take 26th Street to the west or 301 to the east perhaps. Let's check farther south now on the maps and find out what's going on in Sarasota County. Some congestion there at the 41-301 split between Mound and the downtown area, so be aware of that. Also, getting off Siesta Key looks sort of congested down there. Stickney Point Bridge, very busy as you cross over from the Key to the mainland there at 41, so be aware of that as well. And then our final map to the south will show mostly clear at 5:03 on your Friday morning. Well, another day, another shooting, this time at a Maryland newspaper. This morning, police in Maryland continue to search for evidence and a motive for the mass shooting that struck a newsroom. Investigators say the suspect opened fire inside the Capital Gazette in Annapolis. ABC's Kenneth Moten has the latest.
Overnight, police in Maryland searched the home of the suspected gunman in what appears to be the deadliest attack on journalists in the U.S. in years.
This was a targeted attack on the Capital Gazette.
Shots fired at the Annapolis, Maryland newspaper yesterday afternoon. Investigators say the suspect, 38-year-old Gerald Ramos.
Guy was holding what looked like a big shotgun, pointing the gun deeper into the office, like he was targeting people.
Inside, 5 people killed, another 2 injured. Employees scrambled for cover. Others hid from the shooter. The paper's crime reporter Phil Davis tweeting, "There is nothing more terrifying than hearing multiple people get shot while you're under your desk and then hear the gunman reload." The retired editor of the paper says the suspect had a history of social media threats against him and the paper for reporting on his guilty plea to stalking his ex-girlfriend in 2011.
He kept track of both the reporter and I. He knew we had left. So I doubt that he was looking for me when he came in that door, but he was certainly looking to retaliate.
The Gazette's sister paper, the Baltimore Sun, wrote tributes to the victims: Gerald Fishman, Rob Hyacin, John McNamara, Rebecca Smith, and Wendy Winters. This morning, their newspaper's front cover, the Capital Gazette refusing to let the tragedy stop it from covering the story. Sources say the suspect hasn't been cooperating and had to be ID'd through facial recognition. We know years ago the Capital Gazette reported his alleged threats to police. The suspect also filed a defamation lawsuit against the newspaper in 2012 and lost. Kenneth Moten, ABC News, Annapolis.
Late last night, we learned one of the victims may have had ties to the Suncoast. The former news director of WQSA, Rob Hyacin, is an editor who was killed at the Capital Gazette. He used to work as a reporter for a radio station in Sarasota during the late 70s, also related to Carl Hyacin, the journalist based in South Florida. We, of course, are monitoring this story for updates and this and other breaking news as well. Make sure you have our news app on your phone with push notifications activated as well. In the midst of a call for tighter school security, the Sarasota County Sheriff and School District have finally agreed on a plan. This school year, school resource deputies will be placed in all middle and high schools within the district. There will also be an SRO in Booker Elementary School. Each high school will also have 2 deputies on staff. Middle schools will have 1. The cost will be split 80% for the district, 20% for the sheriff's office. So that still equals, they say, $1.2 million for the district in a price tag.
I take the sheriff at his word. He's ready to move forward and work together, and that is my commitment, and so forward we go.
As far as the elementary schools, Sarasota County School District has ordered 19 officer jobs, or I should say offered 19 officers jobs. 15 have accepted. These positions, along with the chief position, are pending background checks and school board approval. The district expects all these officers to be ready for the first day of school in late August. A no swim advisory has been issued for Bird Key Park. Tests have revealed heightened levels of bacteria. The water will remain closed until further notice. Health officials say decaying algae, our heavy rain, and also animal feces are responsible. At this time, no other areas are affected. Red tide is impacting some beaches along the Suncoast right now, causing respiratory issues for beachgoers and also killing sea life. Typically, the sea life killed during these red tide blooms are bottom feeders and smaller fish, but this week a sea turtle and manatee washed ashore as well. But 2 vendors at Englewood Beach have been closed due to the sights and smells there. On Minnesota Key, the Coastal Wildlife Club says it's been very difficult for them.
This is the worst that I've seen. It's been really difficult for the past week. You're coughing now. Imagine how we've been coughing, working out here for 2 or 3 hours a day, monitoring sea turtle nests.
Now, this map from the Fish and Wildlife shows the affected areas, with the worst of the red tide shown in red. The beaches affected also include Lido, Siesta, Turtle, Nokomis, and Venice beaches. We are in the final days of Post-Traumatic Stress Disorder Awareness Month. It's a disorder that impacts thousands of military veterans across the country every year. Our Marla Spence shares some of the signs and symptoms and what can be done to treat the disorder as well. Marla?
Hey Ray, PTSD is known as a mental health problem that some people develop after experiencing or witnessing a life-threatening event. Now, among millions across the country, PTSD specifically impacts our military veterans. Now, we reached out to one of the largest VA hospitals locally, which is Bay Pines VA Hospital in St. Petersburg. A spokesperson there tells us just between October 1st of 2016 to September 30th of last year, more than 1,800 veterans were treated for PTSD. That spokesperson also tells us overall, out of the 110,000 veterans served at the healthcare facility last year, more than 22,000 of them were treated by Bay Pines for some type of mental health diagnosis. Now, PTSD doesn't only impact military veterans, but also anyone who's gone through a traumatic event. So far, here's how to spot how you or a loved one has PTSD. Now, oftentimes, people with the disorder relive the traumatic event they previously experienced. They'll also have bad memories or nightmares, or even feel like they're going through the event all over again. Now, another sign is being jittery or always being alert or on the lookout of danger and trouble concentrating, sleeping, and suddenly getting angry or irritable or scared easily are other symptoms. People with PTSD usually look to psychotherapy as a form of treatment for the disorder, and psychotherapy focuses on memory of traumatic events and those with PTSD. Now, there are also other ways to treat PTSD. Coming up at 5:30, we're going to be telling you about one organization on the Suncoast that dedicates its time to military veterans overcoming this disorder for free. Back to you.
All right, thank you, Marla. The Manatee County School District has a new interim superintendent now. Cynthia Saunders was sworn in yesterday with family and friends on hand. Saunders has more than 28 years in education. Her most recent role was Deputy Superintendent of Instructional Services. She takes the place of Dr. Diana Green for now, who accepted the job as superintendent in Duval County. Saunders and Green had worked together for years, even before Manatee County.
I came with her from Marion County. We've worked side by side for over 20 years. So I'm probably as equipped as anybody to step in here and continue the foundation that she's laid before the district.
Dr. Green starts her new job Monday in Jacksonville. A search is now underway for a full-time replacement. A Longboat Key police officer has resigned after it was revealed he was taking and sharing photos of bodies from crime scene accidents. Police Chief Peter Cummings says that Jeffrey Houchins faced termination after their internal investigation that found that he had indeed committed several policy violations, including taking and later showing photos of dead bodies from crime scenes he had taken while employed for a previous police agency. Crossing US 41 near the Ritz-Carlton just got a lot easier. A new crosswalk has been added at US 41 and 1st Street. It's called a Hawk signal. Drivers will see a yellow signal to slow down, a red light to stop, and a red flashing light to proceed with caution. Prior to this, pedestrians had to weave through cars that were lined up at the nearby traffic light. Still ahead on Good Morning Suncoast, less than a week until 4th of July, we'll have an update on fireworks sales. And later in the hour, unusual video from Hawaii that shows a river of hot lava tearing off a rock. Here's a live shot right now from the capital of Georgia. There is downtown Atlanta. 67 degrees there right now. They'll see a high of 88 degrees in Atlanta. As far as the scene here on the Suncoast, here's John Scalzi.
So we're looking again today at some pretty good chances of some rain showers. We had one large complex of storms sink south, kind of decay away, but boundaries are left over. And those boundaries, with a little daytime heating and a westerly wind, will bring us again today good chances for showers and thunderstorms. Our rain chance today coming in at about 60% this afternoon. We'll have the forecast for you in a second.
Every child follows a path in life. For many, that path will lead them to a door that gives them a place to grow, to learn, to belong, a place to forge their future. Because while many doors open, these doors transform. They did for us. Support your local Boys and Girls Clubs. Great futures start here.
We're losing exotic animals on a daily basis, and the ones that we have in captivity are really the ambassadors for their wild counterparts. I'm Clayton Rozier from the Big Cat Habitat and Gulf Coast Sanctuary, housing over 150 exotic animals that needed a great home. And if you love animals, please help them. Do it locally. Support your local no-kill shelters, your local wild animal sanctuaries. Make a difference where you can.
Who else has been taking your prescriptions? Keep your medicine and your family safe and secure. Mind your meds. To learn how we can help, visit the Partnership for Drug-Free Kids at drugfree.org.
Hi, I'm Janelle Hale, founder and CEO of the National Breast Cancer Foundation. No one should face breast cancer alone. When I was diagnosed 36 years ago, there was no internet, and I had to make a decision with little information. Early detection saved my life. It could save yours too. To learn what every woman needs to know about breast cancer, visit nbcf.org/hope.
A promise was made, a promise that hit the beaches of Normandy, a vow that captured Iwo Jima, a contract that weathered Tet, a pledge that stormed the desert in Iraq, an IOU that braved IEDs in Kandahar. A promise was made to America's veterans. DAV fights to keep that promise, so all veterans and their families get the benefits and support they earned. For help, visit DAV.org.
Coast Guard, we are taking on water.
The United States Coast Guard. They secure our ports and waterways, protect our environment, keep drugs away from our kids, and save lives. It's dangerous work. And in times of triumph or tragedy, the Coast Guard Foundation answers the call to support Coast Guard members and their families. Learn more at coastguardfoundation.org.
ABC 7 First Alert Weather Forecast with meteorologist John Scalzi.
So we're looking at a temperature coming in at 82 degrees with a relative humidity of 82%. We have a higher dew point this morning coming in at 76. So the atmosphere is very juicy, primed for shower and thunderstorm development. 89 degrees, the heat index already at this hour. We are headed towards some very, very humid, warm afternoon conditions with showers and thunderstorms, a pretty good bet. By 7 o'clock this morning, we'll have a 30% chance of showers moving in from Gulf waters. They'll dot the Gulf Coast, I think. And then as we head into probably around noontime, leftover boundaries combining with all the moisture in the air and that westerly wind flow will start to trigger off much better rain chances at about 50%, increasing to as much as 60% this afternoon as those showers move inland and become more numerous. A few of the showers, like yesterday, could backbuild toward the coastline and bring us about a 40% chance of an evening shower. So there's good chances of rainfall throughout the day, with the focus of the showers moving from coastal regions to inland regions. There's that little trough of low pressure and a secondary little wave of energy sinking southward. The combination of those leaving boundaries left over in Gulf waters that will help to trigger off showers and thunderstorms today. Right now, everything's pretty quiet, and I don't think we'll have a big problem with the morning commute, but coming home this afternoon and this evening, I think we will see those showers and thunderstorms again become a little bit more numerous. The futurecast shows those showers sinking southward, becoming somewhat intense at times as we head into the afternoon, and then some of these storms gradually drifting back to the coastline as another little wave of energy sinks southward. So we'll watch for that to occur today, and we'll probably have similar situations again tomorrow with lots of moisture in the atmosphere and a general flow from Gulf waters to inland areas. Now, tomorrow will not be a complete rainout, nor will any day of the weekend, but there will be scattered to numerous lightning pops around, so it's important to remember your lightning safety tips. There's going to be a lot of outdoor activity over the course of the weekend, and a lot of people at the beaches. So just remember, if you hear thunder, you're close enough to the parent storm to be struck by lightning, and you should exercise some caution. Southwest wind comes in at about 10 knots today, turning a little more southerly this evening at about 10 knots. You'll have a light chop with 2-foot seas, and that's pretty much what the conditions will be like right straight through the weekend. I think we'll carry on with this sort of westerly wind flow. A 12:56 high tide, low tide at 9:36, and another low tide at 4:03. Forecast shaping up like this. We'll have 92 for today's temperatures, about the same thing tomorrow. Rain chance tomorrow at about 70%. Same thing will hold true on Sunday, maybe a little higher as a little bit of low pressure drifts down into the northern part of the state and erodes away the high pressure ridge that's been providing us with that westerly wind flow. And then as we head into next week, perhaps some drier air works its way in just in time for the 4th of July holiday, reducing rain chances to about 30%. Right?
Thank you, John. Checking the roads now. There's still an ongoing issue at a busy place there in Manatee County. Be aware of the intersection of Cortez and 14th Street West. A busy spot just made busier. Also, Cortez showing some congestion as you head from the beaches eastbound across the county there. Also, look at 301 north and southbound around downtown Bradenton. Checking our next maps, northern half of Sarasota County. Issues there on Fruitville Road eastbound, 301 in both directions. Bee Ridge eastbound, both at Beneva and also out toward McIntosh and Honore. Stickney Point Bridge, also some congestion. Awfully early today for that. People leaving the beach, it seems. And then farther south, our final map We'll show just some minor delays on 41, nothing major at 519. 4th of July is 5 days away, and one firefighter knows all too well about the dangers of fireworks. 2 years ago, Fire Captain Jay Northrup lit some fireworks. Not all of them went off. When he went to go check as to why, yeah, you guessed it, the mortar exploded in his face.
I ruptured both eardrums. I got 35 stitches in my head. I got a massive concussion. I had a subdural and a subarachnoid bleed in my head.
Hindsight, Jay says he should have poured water on the faulty firework, and he now says he leaves it to the professionals going forward. Probably a good idea. And people are starting to load up on fireworks to give the holiday a little extra pop. So far, retailers are reporting fairly good sales, especially among the most popular items. That includes products for kids like poppers and novelty items.
The sales are pretty good, but the value of the sales is way down. You know, when people used to spend $100, they're spending $30, $40 now. And I don't know if it's a trend or if it'll get better as the season comes near, grows near or what.
If you haven't bought any fireworks yet, retailers say the sooner the better before they start to sell out. Just be careful. Still ahead on Good Morning Suncoast, Amazon in the drug business now, how this will affect pharmacies nationwide. And next half hour, more money is on the way. Nearly a year after Hurricane Irma, we'll tell you how much the state will get from the feds. First, here's a peek outside our window at the Rosemary District in downtown Sarasota. Off in the distance, looking south on Lemon. 521 right now. You're watching Good Morning Suncoast on ABC 7.
There's nothing like this trail in Alabama. It just goes from the northern part of the state to the southern part of the state. We see all kind of different terrains, great value, great fun. We've been coming for 18 years. We started off with a group of 8, grew to 12, and grew to 16. And we love it because where else can you get world-class golf courses with world-class accommodations? To be able to play these type of courses in this environment, and the difficulty keeps us coming back over and over and over again.
We've all heard how military veterans adjusting to the civilian world may have certain issues.
30. 70.
If only everyone had this issue. No matter what challenge they face, Easter Seals is here for America's veterans.
My name is Stephen Jaffe. The law firm's name is Farmer Jaffe. One of the beautiful things about Julius is he's always smiling, and it becomes infectious. The fact that Julius has a disability has absolutely nothing to do with the quality of work that he's done. Just a great person you want on your staff.
Hi, this is Dan Marino. When your business recruits people with disabilities, everybody wins. To find out how, go to disabilitieswork.employflorida.com.
Find out first at 4 on the Suncoast with ABC 7 News at 4, premiering Monday, July 2nd. ABC 7 News at 4 starts with a detailed look at your first alert weather forecast to help you plan and prepare. We give you a fresh, fast-paced rundown of the day's top stories and videos, including breaking news, live updates, and traffic hotspots, all at a new, more convenient time. Find out first at 4, weekdays on ABC 7.
When it comes to drinking, what do you think moderation is? The U.S. Dietary Guidelines define moderation as up to 1 drink a day for women and up to 2 drinks a day for men. So what's a drink? The guidelines say a drink equals 12 ounces of beer, 5 ounces of wine, or a cocktail with 1.5 ounces of distilled spirits. Each contains the same amount of alcohol. Like to learn more? Visit drinkinmoderation.org.
There was this big bruise on my friend's face. I didn't want to see it. I didn't want to think her own nephew could have hit her.
I didn't want to see it. My mother's bank account was emptied, and a caregiver had taken control of it.
I didn't want to see it. My father's refrigerator. There was hardly anything in it. That's unusual for him.
It's tough to see that a senior citizen is being abused, physically, emotionally, sexually, or financially. Elder abuse is a crime.
So see the signs. Stop the crimes.
Welcome back, and look at this, a massive rock Hawaii residents call a lava boat. One person caught it on camera inside the channelized lava flow from Fisher 8. There it goes. He estimates the huge rock was 20 by 20 feet. The lava boat was seen sailing with a rapid flow until it split into two pieces. He says it was one of the biggest lava boats he has ever seen. Very unusual boat indeed. Amazon's latest move has caused the value of the nation's biggest pharmacies to plunge. The story in today's Tech Bites.
In today's Tech Bites, Amazon rocks the drug industry.
The retailer has purchased the online pharmacy PillPack. The company offers pre-sorted packaging and home delivery for prescription medication.
The announcement sent shares of Walgreens, CVS, and Rite Aid plunging, collectively losing $11 billion in market value.
AT&T has agreed to pay more than a $5 million settlement to an investigation into a pair of 911 outages.
Those outages happened last year on their mobile network. They lasted some 6 hours and dropped at least 15,000 emergency calls. The NES Classic is back for now.
For now, keywords, Nintendo's miniature replica of its original console comes loaded with 30 games. It was released last year but quickly sold out, so more consoles were made available at midnight on various websites. Some sites say sold out again.
Psych.
Those are your Tech Bites.
Tech Bites, sponsored by Walgreens.
Stretched, smooth, scarred, soaked. The sun does not care, but we do. Walgreens beauty consultants are specially trained to know what works for the health of your unique skin. Walgreens, trusted since 1901. Now, all sun care products are buy one, get one 50% off.
Oh, look. Another anti-wrinkle cream in no hurry to make anything happen. Neutrogena Rapid Wrinkle Repair works in just 1 week with the fastest retinol formula to visibly reduce wrinkles. Neutrogena.
Bottom line is, moms love that Lando Frost premium sliced meats have no byproducts.
Baloney!
Has joined the call.
Hey, Baloney here.
I thought this was a no byproducts call.
Lando Frost Premium, a slice above.
I am the resident district manager on the FAU campus for Chartwell. Whenever I see Haley, I do not see a person with a disability. I see a person with extraordinary abilities. Haley is always smiling. She's always on time. She gives fantastic customer service and is always focused on any job that she's given.
Hi, this is Dan Marino. When your business recruits people with disabilities, everybody wins. To find out how, go to disabilitieswork.employflorida.com.
This is your brain. This is drugs. This is your brain on drugs. Any questions?
Yeah, I have questions.
Prescription drugs aren't as bad as street drugs, right?
Weed's legal, isn't it?
Drinking is worse than smoking weed.
Isn't it? Why
is heroin so addictive?
Molly just makes you feel happy.
I have questions.
Mom?
Dad, did you ever try drugs?
They're going to ask. Be ready. Go to drugfree.org. A message from Partnership for Drug-Free Kids.
Thank you. You got a king?
Go fish!
It only takes a moment to make a moment. Take time to be a dad today.
The ABC7 First Alert weather app just got even better. It's easy to use once you download it. First, tell the app to follow you, so you get alerts pinpointed to exactly where you are. Then customize your settings with all the places you go, from the beach to grandmother's house. Get accurate alerts for everyone you care about. You can even pick which weather alerts and categories you want and what they sound like. More ways to customize and more ways to keep your family safe. Download the ABC7 First Alert weather app today.
My name is Luke Perry, and I am 1 million strong. I'm in the fight against colorectal cancer because I believe we can win it. Colon and rectal cancers are the second leading cause of cancer deaths among men and women in the U.S. Colon cancer is preventable. Know the risk factors and make sure to get screened. There are simple, take-home options available. Take control of your health. Screening for colon cancer isn't embarrassing. It can be life-saving. To find out more about your options, visit fightcrc.org.
Selfless service is the principle that guides Army National Guard soldiers to be ready whenever disaster strikes. They have a stake in the well-being of the neighborhoods where they live and work. They train part-time to be ready to serve at all times. Selfless service. It's what inspires the men and women of the Army National Guard to be part of something greater than themselves. Visit NationalGuard.com to learn more.
You're watching Good Morning Suncoast at 5:30.
More than 100 new laws take effect in Florida on Sunday. We'll tell you how this could affect you. It is National PTSD Awareness Month, what local organizations are doing to raise awareness for those who are struggling. And a no-swim advisory has been issued for Bird Key Park. We'll tell you why this half hour on Good Morning Suncoast. Good morning, welcome back. We have made it to Friday together. I'm Ray Collins. Stephanie Webb is back on Monday. It'll be good to see her again. It is June 29th, and John Scalzi's been tracking the storms all week long here in the Weather Center.
Yeah, we've had a pretty good cluster of showers and thunderstorms building in northern Gulf waters this morning and then sinking southward and kind of falling apart as it does so. There's a general drift to the south and to the southeast, but right now the Kennedy Space Center looks A-OK for a launch that'll take place in about 10 minutes. That's a SpaceX refueling supply for the space station. And locally, we don't have a whole lot of issues here either. All the roadways look pretty quiet. We'll likely see showers and thunderstorms develop again today, though. We have a good chance of seeing that. Not much in the way of any kind of large-scale issues headed our way for the next couple of hours anyway, but certainly we do have leftover boundaries from those storms I showed you earlier in northern Gulf waters, and with a little daytime heating, by noontime, I suspect we'll see showers and thunderstorms becoming a little bit more widespread as they drift inland and give us about a 60% chance of seeing some rainfall today. So another wet day on the Suncoast. Ray?
Talk to you again soon. Here's a live shot of the boats that are queuing up there at the Van Wezel ahead of the 34th annual Grand Prix boat races this weekend on Lido Key Beach. You can stop by and see the boats at the Van Wezel this morning, perhaps. That's our live camera on the scene there on Sarasota's Bayfront. Let's go to the maps right now and find out how we're doing. First off, Manatee County, ongoing issue there at the busy intersection of Cortez and 14th Street West. We'll track that throughout the morning. Also 301 northbound as you cross over State Road 70. As we check the lower half, the upper half rather, of Sarasota County. Little buildup there as you get off Siesta Key. Quite a buildup there. Also coming across the Stickney Point Bridge and over 41 as well. Not sure what's going on there. And then farther south, we'll check that map and find out not much in the red right now, all clear at 5:32. We are in the last days of Post-Traumatic Stress Disorder Awareness Month. It's a disorder that impacts thousands across the country. Last year, out of 110,000 veterans served at the Bay Pines VA Healthcare in St. Petersburg, more than 22,000 were treated for some type of mental health diagnosis, including PTSD. Marla Spence joins us now with a look at what one organization is doing on the Suncoast to combat this disorder. Marla.
Hey Ray, there are a list of ways to treat post-traumatic stress disorder, but one organization in Palmetto is using what we call a man's best friend to combat the mental disorder. Now that organization is the Southeastern Guide Dogs. Staff there work to transform lives by creating and nurturing partnerships between people and dogs, specifically those with PTSD. Now experts train service dogs and prepare military veterans on how to live with their service dogs. Veterans with PTSD don't get their dog right away, but they stay on site of Southeastern Guide Dogs for 11 days for training. We're told no service dog has been returned and has been proven to help with PTSD. Now, a service dog program manager at the facility tells us how a cute, furry, friendly dog can help ease the stress of veterans with PTSD.
A dog like Chevy is trained to assist the person with PTSD in a number of different ways. Hopefully he will be able to primarily interrupt and distract the anxiety from building. They are very prone to getting panic attacks. And if we can stop it before it starts, get their attention back on the dog rather than what's going on around them, that is the most effective tool this dog can bring, because then they're not scared to go out. The dog also provides a barrier and what we like to refer to as a bridge with strangers and anyone in the public approaching this individual. And wanting just to talk about a dog. I mean, who doesn't want to talk about this beautiful, handsome, adorable dog at their side? And it's a safe topic. It's not asking them about their service. So they get comfortable with that, and they get more comfortable going places.
Now, the service dog also helps to decrease depression with those in PTSD, and the service provided by Southeastern Guide Dogs are absolutely free of charge. Back to you, Ray.
Thank you, Marla. Other health news now. A new hospital planned for Venice will also serve as a hurricane shelter. Sarasota Memorial plans to build a facility off Laurel Road, along with an emergency room and medical offices and a parking garage. The campus will also include a hurricane shelter. Hospital officials are excited.
No, we're just excited about furthering our commitment to the area, and we think there's a lot of growth to be had and a lot of services that are needed in the area, and we're looking forward to being there.
Hospital officials say they are still working with the city on the permits and zoning requirements, but they hope to start construction on this in January. More money is on the way to help the state recover from Hurricane Irma still. The federal government has approved Florida's request for $616 million. That'll be used to repair destroyed or damaged homes. People who left Puerto Rico after Hurricane Maria say they are still waiting for permanent housing from FEMA. Yesterday, they staged a protest by setting up a tent city outside a Florida resort that was hosting a Republican summit. Reporter Lauren Seabrook was there.
American children who fled Puerto Rico with their parents 9 months ago could be seeking shelter in tents like these by Saturday.
It's not a plan that I would like. It's not safe either for me or for my children.
But after 4 extensions, FEMA's hotel assistance runs out in about 36 hours, leaving 630 families in Central Florida with no place to go. Vamos for Puerto Rico says that's actually about 1,700 people who will be homeless.
Like me, there's many families that doesn't have any plan. We're just waiting for people to help us.
In many cases, it's not because they can't afford an apartment, it's because they can't find one. So if the evacuees end up building tent cities, we wanted to know if anyone plans to step in. Orlando told us the city doesn't have the social services like the county does. Orange County Mayor Teresa Jacobs sent this letter to FEMA today, asking for immediate one-on-one assistance for the families. But she did not say if the county will do something about the tent cities if that doesn't happen. Kissimmee says it'll be working with Osceola County to support the families, but we haven't heard back from Osceola County. Heart of Florida United Way paid for more than 1,000 evacuees to have temporary stays in hotels, and more recently it helped 44 families secure housing. But it says philanthropy can't be the permanent solution to the serious affordable housing crisis.
On to other news now. More than 100 new laws take effect this Sunday, July 1st in Florida. Here are a few that might affect you here in the Suncoast. One controversial one gives private beachfront property owners the option to decide if they want the public to use their beach. This new law is the first of its kind in the country and goes against Florida's longstanding customary use policy, which states that beaches belong to the public. Another new law gives first responders who deal with PTSD access to workers' compensation benefits. Previously, they only received the benefits for physical injuries. A new law requires training for doctors who prescribe opioid prescriptions, and patients with acute pain will now only get a 3-day supply of drugs like OxyContin and fentanyl. Another new law makes it harder for minors to get married in Florida. In the past, minors ages 16 and 17 have been able to get a marriage license with their parents' consent, and judges could issue licenses to even younger minors, but no more. Under the change starting Sunday in Florida, marriage will generally be barred for those under 18. An exception will be for 17-year-olds who have written consent from their parents or guardians, as long as there is not more than a 2-year age difference. This issue emerged because of the story of a woman who says she was forced to marry her adult rapist at age 11 after giving birth.
It lives with you throughout your life to a certain extent, and then you have to bring the best out of that situation, and that's what I'm doing.
The child marriage law is one of 105 new laws that take effect statewide on Sunday. As we get toward the hottest part of the year, you might be surprised how hot those slides and swings get on the playground. Reporter Nicolette Perrone did a little test to find out just how hot.
Just because temperatures outside aren't scorching doesn't mean that playground equipment isn't, and older parks with metal equipment are hot to the touch. In direct sunlight, this slide was almost 130 degrees and the metal bars were no different. This playground equipment right here is registering a temperature of 123 degrees Fahrenheit. According to the American Burn Association, if the surface of the equipment is 140 degrees, it can take as little as 3 seconds to get a second-degree burn and 5 seconds for a third-degree burn. Pediatricians say younger kids who may not have the reflex to move away as quickly are at a greater risk. We asked kids what they thought temperatures on some of their favorite things to play on may be.
120. 103. 120. Yeah, like 115 maybe.
This plastic slide was 111 degrees. Equipment in the shade was cooler, recording a temperature of about 90 degrees.
What do you think the hottest thing on the playground is?
The ground. Yes, the grass.
The children weren't wrong. In different areas of the park, the turf was as high as 144 degrees. Their advice?
Wear shoes. Yeah, wear shoes. Yeah, wear shoes, definitely. Because I can still feel a little hotness in my shoes. Yeah.
The group says their parents make sure they're prepared to brave the elements before they get to the park, with sunscreen and shoes always on.
We also bring water from the splash pad with the cup and pour it down and it's so fast. So it doesn't slide. So it's not hot.
Some parents say they were shocked and they were sure to make sure their kids put their shoes back on the playground. Still ahead, caught on camera, another gator story, this time police in Texas. Look at this. Wrestling a gator. We'll have the full story. First, live shot right now of SpaceX launching a new resupply mission to the International Space Station. Today's launch kicks off SpaceX's 15th contracted cargo flight to the space station for NASA with its Dragon spacecraft. One guy watching this closely, our scientist, John Scalzi. What do you think, John?
Should be blasting off any second now, actually. They're right at the point where they'll ignite those oxygen kerosene rockets. They've really done an amazing job, Elon Musk and his team, of creating a rocket that can be reused and therefore slash the cost of cargo space. This one is going to resupply the space station, of course, an amazing city that's just above our atmosphere, circling every 90 minutes of the Earth, and producing hundreds and hundreds of experiments up in the upper reaches of the atmosphere. Fantastic stuff.
10 years ago, there was big concern over there about the future of Merritt Island and the jobs over there, and now, in effect, the private sector has stepped in, and space travel continues.
That's right. It's a great combination of private sector and government research, and I think it's just going to really excite the entire space community as we perhaps even, who knows, in our lifetime start a venture to Mars. That was the whole point of Elon Musk's venture, was to create a mission to Mars, and everything that he's done is kind of geared toward colonization of another planet. So it'll be exciting to see exactly how he progresses.
Elon Musk has been compared to Thomas Edison and
there goes
Bill Gates.
There she goes.
Pretty shot there, live shot right there from the Kennedy Space Center, watching SpaceX, its 15th launch from the east coast of the Sunshine State.
Wish I were there. What a great sight.
Yeah.
I don't think we'll see much of it around here. We have a little bit too much cloud cover, unfortunately. We'll have the rain box checked in the drive time forecast for the possibility of some developing showers, not necessarily for the drive to work, but certainly the drive home from work. There's a lot of debris cloud left over. Not only is the SpaceX on time, but all hubs serving the Sarasota International Airport also running on time according to the FAA. I'll have your complete forecast in a minute.
I took my first handful of pills, and that's when all my priorities seemed to change.
He would ask to use the bathroom in other people's homes.
He just assumed that they would have medication.
He'd go in their medicine cabinets and steal prescription drugs.
I wish I knew really what these prescription pills were.
We were so naive about the whole drug thing.
These are all synthetic forms of heroin.
Keep your medication locked up because you'll never notice that a pill is gone.
Mind your meds. Learn more from the Partnership for Drug-Free Kids.
My name is Julius. I have cerebral palsy. I work for Farmer Jeffrey Weising Law Firm. I do a lot of data entry and scanning documents. I want to increase my working experience to make the company much better. At the end of the day, it's good to think of the day's work and to think about what I have accomplished.
Hi, this is Dan Marino. When your business recruits people with disabilities, everybody wins. To find out how, go to abilitieswork.employflorida.com.
The skills you develop as a soldier in the Army National Guard can give you a head start on your career. Gain practical experience with technology and equipment that will give you a leg up in the civilian world. Learn critical leadership skills and to be part of a team. Serve your community and your country part-time while earning money for an education. Visit NationalGuard.com to learn about the paid training and career opportunities available to you in the Army National Guard.
Here we go. We're gonna go out there in the rain. Gonna get wet. All right, here we go. Okay, quick. Oh yeah, yes. So much fun. Mwah. So wet.
Meet Blue. Blue's not feeling well. The prescription? Generic medication. Blue wonders, do they really work as well as name brands? Yes, generics and name brand medications do work the same. Even though they may look different, generics have the same key ingredients. FDA approval is equally rigorous for generics to make sure they're as safe and effective as name brands. And Blue even saves some green, making him a little less, well, blue. Talk to your doctor about generics and visit fda.gov/generic drugs.
Iguanas only reproduce 1 month out of the year.
That's because they suffer from erectile dysfunction.
According to the Department of Homeland Security, what color represents the lowest threat level?
Is Caucasian a color?
Which casino game has the best odds for a payout?
The ATM.
Funny you should ask. Weekdays at 4:30 and 11:30 on ABC 7. Now your ABC 7 First Alert weather forecast with meteorologist John Scalzi.
You have an 82-degree air temperature with the dew point value coming in at 76. It's hot, it's steamy outside, at least for this time of day. And we have a heat index because of all that moisture in the air that's at 89 degrees already at this time of morning. Plenty of cloud cover and some clear sky as well. We had a kind of a complex of storms that sunk southward, dissipating and leaving over boundaries that I hope will trigger showers this afternoon. We'll also have plenty of moisture in the atmosphere, little daytime heating, westerly wind flow. You put all those things together and you can't help but think we're going to get some pretty good coverage of showers today. 40% chance by about 9 o'clock this morning of a spotty shower near the coast. Light stuff, drizzle, patchy rain, that kind of thing. As those showers begin to move inland and we get a little more daytime heating, the chances of a thunderstorm increase to about 60%. 50% rather by noon, and then 60% I think as we head into the afternoon. Most of those showers in the afternoon though will be in inland locations. However, as we head into the evening, like yesterday, some of the showers could back build toward the coastline, and we have about a 40% chance of an evening shower as well. So at no point during the day do our rain chances go to zero. We'll watch the another little line of showers similar to this one kind of work its way southward today. This one came through during the overnight and basically fell apart as it got closer to us. But it does leave leftover boundaries that help to kind of converge moisture into one location and put a little kink in the lower levels of the atmosphere to help trigger off showers later in the day. Not much going on right now. All of our roadways are pretty quiet right now, and not much going out near Gulf waters either, so don't really expect too much over the course of the next hour or two. But as I mentioned, we'll put in that slight chance of an isolated sprinkle or so. The futurecast continues to show the showers building to the north of us and outflow boundaries from those sinking southward, producing the potential of some rainfall around here as we head into the afternoon. Weather highlights include this westerly wind flow and a high-pressure ridge down to our south, which will continue throughout the day today to produce the westerly wind that tends to favor the shower motion pushed toward the other coast. We'll watch that. A leftover boundary low-pressure area continues to produce these boundaries, though, that up our rain chances today. Now, over the weekend, we have a little low-pressure area that'll sink southward into northern Florida. That, too, may enhance our weekend chance for thunderstorms. And I know a lot of people will be out and about at the beaches, so please do just be careful and watch out for thunderstorm and lightning. activity this weekend. Southwest wind turning south at about 10 knots. We'll have today a 92 for a daytime high, about 90 tomorrow. Good chances of rain both days. In fact, even on Sunday, excellent chances of rainfall. Mostly cloudy conditions. And then as we head into next week, maybe some drier air will work its way in just in time for the 4th of July. Right?
All right, thank you, John. Checking first alert traffic now. Let's see if that issue is still ongoing. Yeah, it is. Cortez at 14th Street West, a busy spot there. Big intersection accident there this morning going on for the past hour. Also 301 southbound as you cross over State Road 70 toward Sarasota County. Speaking of which, we'll check the northern half now of Sarasota County and see some issues there on 301 as you cross over Fruitville Road and head toward Newtown. Also Bee Ridge Road eastbound from Honore toward Kettleman and the interstate. And then our final map to the south, we'll check on that. A couple of issues there. There's one on the 681 connector that goes from the Laurel-Nokomis area toward the interstate, and also another issue southbound 41 as you travel from Nokomis down toward Venice. Police in Texas had to get hands-on with an alligator this week. Look at this video. According to the Post and the police department's Facebook page, an 8-foot gator spotted by a customer in the parking lot of a Walmart. Police came in along with the Texas Parks officials, and they got a game warden to wrestle the alligator into submission. Luckily, nobody was injured. Texas Parks and Wildlife took the gator into custody. They said the handcuffs kept falling off. Just kidding. 5:51 right now. It's a live shot of the SpaceX launch, the 15th space station launch. They are resupplying the space station, rather. This launched about 10 minutes ago, and you saw it live right here on Good Morning Suncoast. We'll update the day's top news headlines after this. Stay with us.
According to a new survey by U.S. News & World Report, 3 of Alabama's top 4 hotels and resorts are part of the Robert Trent Jones Golf Trail Resort Collection. The Grand Hotel Marriott Resort in Point Clear, the Battle House Renaissance Mobile Hotel and Spa, and the Renaissance Birmingham Ross Bridge Golf Resort and Spa. Hey, we didn't invent Southern hospitality, we just offer more of it. Visit rtjgolf.com/resorts to find out more.
You are the best protection she has. Buddy up. I'm Jill Harrington. Please visit helpsavethenextgirl.com and get involved.
Ever since I can remember, I've been intrigued by industrial design and the optimization.
Wait, that's passion? Ever since I can remember, my passion has been industrial design. We need 3D printers for Miss Adams' engineering program so that we are ready to solve 21st century challenges.
Impressive. Think It Up is a new initiative to support student-powered, teacher-led learning projects. Students and teachers, how can you spark great learning experiences in your classroom today? Think It Up.
When ABC7 declares a first alert weather day, it means we can expect major changes to weather conditions here along the Suncoast.
It means there could be severe, potentially dangerous weather ahead.
We tell you when a first alert weather day is coming because we want you to be prepared.
A first alert weather day is an advance warning. We'll let you know about any changes in the weather when the first signs appear.
ABC7 First Alert Weather. We're here for you.
Soldiers in the Army National Guard live up to a set of time-honored principles.
I will always place the mission first.
They stand ready to respond to any crisis.
I will never accept defeat.
They serve in their communities as citizens and as soldiers.
I will never quit.
They train part-time to be ready to serve at all times.
I will never leave a fallen comrade.
Learn more at nationalguard.com.
Welcome back. Here are the top headlines on the Suncoast right now. We're learning more about the man accused of opening fire in a Maryland newsroom, killing 5 people. 38-year-old Jared Ramos reportedly had lost a defamation lawsuit to the paper back in 2012. A Longboat Key police officer has been forced to resign. An internal investigation concluded Officer Jeffrey Houchins made a habit during his career of taking photos of bodies at accident scenes and showing them to others. And tens of thousands are expected on Lido Key Beach this weekend for the 34th annual Grand Prix boat races. This is a live picture right now of some of the boats lined up in the Van Wezel parking lot on Sarasota's Bayfront. Next hour, a unique approach to help victims of sex trafficking. And new this morning, Guinness is preparing to open its first brewery in this country since the 1950s. And also happening today, Toys R Us closing its doors, end of an era. Let's get the forecast now one last time this hour from John Scalzi.
Well, we'll have a lot of cloud cover around today and through the weekend, really. We'll have chances of rainfall each and every day. Today, coastal storms in the morning with a chance probably maxing out at about 50% by the time we get to noon. Then, as we head into the afternoon, the showers build in inland areas, and that's where the heaviest of the rain will occur. Over the weekend, good chances of showers and thunderstorms, and while the weekend will by no means be a rainout, we'll certainly will see scattered to numerous thunderstorms possible, so remember your lightning safety rules. We'll be right back.
All right, talk to you again soon, John. We certainly had an exciting half hour here watching the live launch of the SpaceX trip from the East Coast of Florida, the 15th mission, this one to resupply the space station. We'll leave you now with a live shot as it goes through the air.